Yeah, without a doubt, Scream, 1996, the very first Scream, is the most influential movie probably of my entire life. Not just horror movie, but like movie, because I had never seen a slasher before I saw that movie in the theater when I was 16. And I thought horror movies were, I was like, I was a Spielberg guy. I liked the Back to the Future. I liked Jurassic Park. I liked Alfred Hitchcock, so I liked suspense as well. And I liked ghost stories, but I thought slashers are trash. Slashers are trashers. And I saw Scream and I was like, nope, slashers are incredible. I didn't realize that Scream wasn't what a lot of the other slashers are. So I was a little confused when I went back and started watching the 80s slashers, except for Halloween. Like the Halloween franchise, since it's set at Halloween, was always so nice to live in while you're watching it. You feel like you're in the Halloween season. But Scream is absolutely the most influential for sure. Yeah, okay. So this is I mean, my friends will make fun of me, but Donnie Darko. I mean, I love Donnie Darko. I love that it's a Halloween movie that isn't like a horror movie. And The Guest, again, a non-horror movie that takes place in the Halloween season. Both of those have the tone of like real people dealing with weird situations. Like the acting is so fun, the stories are so fun, the dialogue's great, and the people feel real to me. I know The Guest is heightened, but like those, I still believe those people within that world. Um, and those two were the kind of the ones I referenced the most. And then just every Halloween movie ever. Like I had a lot of on my look board. I had The Craft. I had Hocus Pocus. I had Lords of Salem. I had Neon Demon. Like things that were like very bright and seasonal. Were very much the lookbook for this movie. Absolutely. So having strong protagonists was paramount for me. I wanted to cast people I wanted to hang out with. I wanted the characters to be people that you just wanted to spend time with. Because a lot of slashers too, especially kind of later in franchises, the characters become horrible. And the thinking there, presumably, is that it's more fun to watch them get killed if they are horrible people. Like you can root for the killer at that point. But I could not disagree more. I want to be around the people that I enjoy, and I want to be horrified when they die. I want to feel the loss of them viscerally, if possible. And so here, I wanted to create a group of people who, much like at the Realm of Terror haunted house at which this movie takes place, we shot in a real haunted house called Realm of Terror. All of those people are a joy to be around. And then they put on the freaky makeup and they go and they scare the tourists. And they have so much fun doing it. And when people are scared, they're laughing. It's like a real kind of entertainment dance that they're doing. So I wanted to capture that energy, this group of people who, much like a theater troupe or like an indie film group of people, I knew all of these people, people who just want to like make a connection and entertain people. So if you know what that's like, that's kind of what I wanted haunt season to feel like. Yeah. The original script was very, very different because I was like, there are quite a few haunt movies and haunted house movies, and there's a there's a few haunt slashers as well. So what if we did started as a slasher, turned into a creature feature, and I had the whole gimmick that was very, very cool, but ultimately way too expensive and problematic in terms of the puppetry and effects needed to pull off on a production of our scale. I'm gonna put that one in the back pocket. But we had already started as a slasher, and there was this very simple concept of kind of like marking the victims, and the victims being cast members of the haunted house and not people attending the haunted house. These are two things that I hadn't seen really in haunt slashers before. I love Haunt. I love Hell House LLC, House at October Built. Like I love these movies, but I wanted to at least differentiate ourselves a little bit more from that by focusing in on the cast as being the ones who are being targeted instead of the audience. And that's kind of like how it developed from there. Once it was no longer a creature feature, I just wanted to make the best possible, like regional slasher possible. And shooting in Northern Illinois, just an hour north of Chicago in the month of October, we are that Midwest slasher, you know? And I just can't believe how it turned out. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Sure. So a lot like the references that I talked about earlier, especially like the Richard Kelly of it all, you know, Darko, Southland Tales. I really like a wide lens on a camera that is moving with the characters a lot. So there's a lot of movement in haunt season and a lot of like, you know, steady cam, not even steady cam. Like we are just working with the gimbal. So like a lot of gimbal. Our DP Alex Lakin, Alexander Lakin, he had you know, he really got a lot of arm workout on this movie because he was operating that gimbal for a lot of his day. But I really like the wideness. When you have an environment like Realm of Terror that is 22 years old, the behind the scenes, the inside the sets, everything looks so good and real from its years of use. You want to toss a wide lens on it and show people in that environment because it just sells the world, because it is the world. You want to see the world. If you're just cropping in on your actors' faces, you miss out on all this texture. So a lot of width, a lot of movement. Um, yeah, I would say it's very much set in there. So that's kind of like a John Carpenter idea too. Like, you know, if you want to go back to the 70s and 80s, like he loves a longer take in a wide lens. We just didn't go anamorphic. We kept it a little taller because in the haunted house, it's so tight to get that anamorphic, it would all be close-ups. We needed the extra headroom. And a wide lens to make the rooms look even bigger than they were.